For 3 years in a row, my birthdays passed the same way, silence, no gifts, no calls, just the occasional excuse, you already have everything. You live too far, you're always working anyway. The last gift I got from my family was a dish towel, 3 years ago. The year before that, my younger brother Eric sent me a gif of a clown honking its nose. Last year, nothing, not even a meme. This year, I turned 34, and I decided I wanted something different, not presents, but presents. So, I booked a private dining room at one of the nicest restaurants in the city, 12 seats, personalized menus, champagne, a string quartet, $12,000, paid in full, just for family. Along with the invite, I included a wish list, 7 items, each under $50, coffee beans, a novel, a candle, socks, nothing fancy, nothing I couldn't buy myself, just small gestures. I kept the message short, no pressure, just things that bring me peace. I'd love to see you there. By noon, Eric replied, "Bro, you drive a Tesla and you're asking for socks? Seriously?" 2 hours later, my mom texted, asking for gifts? That's a little much. You have everything anyway. I'm not coming. Eric agrees. And that was it. No RSVPs, no follow-ups, silence. Still, I kept the reservation. Part of me hoped they'd surprise me, that anyone would show up. The night came. I wore my best suit. The host greeted me with a smile. "Happy birthday, Mr. Thomas. Your room is ready." 12 candles flickered across a long oak table, gold-rimmed glasses, name cards at every seat. Mine was the only one used. I waited 20 minutes. No one came. The waiter asked if I wanted to delay the second course. No, I said, serve everything as planned. So I sat alone, ate quietly, toasted to nothing. When dessert came, the waiter set down a tiramisu with a single candle and whispered, "Happy birthday." I whispered back, "Thank you." I snapped a photo of the untouched table and posted it in the family group chat. No caption. No one replied. The next morning, I opened my banking app. For years, I'd been quietly covering my family's expenses, mom's credit cards, Eric's rent, the utilities, even the property taxes on my parents' house, always automatic, always invisible. But that morning, something shifted. I tapped the tab that read recurring transfers. And I pressed pause. That night, I stood in my kitchen, staring at the untouched wine bottles I'd chosen for the dinner, Spanish Reds, aged whites, tasting notes written in my own hand. My mind drifted to every bill I'd quietly covered, Eric's phone, mom's groceries, the endless Uber gift cards, little lifelines disguised as love. I opened my laptop, paused, closed it, reopened it. This wasn't revenge, this was recalibration. I pulled up my banking dashboard, where automatic support lived like invisible debt, line after line of weekly withdrawals, silent apologies disguised as help. One by one, I hit pause. Eric's rent paused. Mom's electric paused. The family Netflix I didn't even use canceled. I wasn't angry, I was finished, done being their emergency fund with no face, no voice, just a routing number. The next morning, Eric texted, "Mom says you're being dramatic. Anyway, rent's due Tuesday, you forgot." I stared at it, typed 2 words, set boundaries, hit send, exhaled for the first time in years. 3 days later, Mom posted a photo, Eric's anniversary dinner, rooftop restaurant, balloons, cake, caption, "So proud of Eric and Noelle, always putting others first." Putting others first. I zoomed in. The gift bag on the table had my handwriting on the tag. The perfume I bought for Mom now sat in front of Eric's girlfriend. My gift, repurposed. I didn't text, didn't call, but I scrolled. Eric's comment under the post read, "Thanks, Mom, and thanks for covering dessert, you're the best." The same woman who told me a $35 book was childish had no problem footing his bill. That's when I understood it was never about money, it was about narrative. Eric had branded me for years, the distant, arrogant brother who threw money around to feel superior, and they bought it, because the second I stopped giving, they stopped showing up. That afternoon, my aunt texted, "Sweetheart, your mom said you uninvited them from dinner, that you were mad about gifts." Uninvited? No, I had receipts. The invite was clean, polite, But Eric's version had already spread. That night, Dad called. Heard you were upset about the birthday. I'm not upset, I said, I just stopped paying. He hesitated. Your mom meant well. Eric's trying. Trying? He's been trying for 12 years, Dad. Silence. Did you know I paused the payments? I asked. He exhaled. She didn't tell me. I almost laughed. I hadn't ghosted, I had hosted. I gave them a table. They chose empty chairs. You know what I got for my birthday? I asked. What? 12 empty seats. The line went quiet. Then, softly, I'm sorry, son. But I didn't need sorry, I needed truth. That night, I posted the photo of the empty table. Caption, some birthdays remind you of the silence you've been funding. Comments off. Within hours, my phone lit up like a fire alarm. Calls, texts, missed notifications. Eric's message at 1:12 a.m. You think you're better than us because you have money? At 1:17, don't play the victim. You did this to yourself. I read it twice, laughed, because that was it. He couldn't stand that I'd stopped playing along, that I'd stopped bankrolling the story where he was the underdog and I was the cold ATM brother. The next morning, I walked into work clear-headed. My assistant looked nervous. Your brother came by, she said, tried to get into your office. Security walked him out. He said, you owed him an explanation. Something about airing family business online. He was spiraling. Eric didn't care about money, he cared about control, and for the first time in his life, he didn't have it. That night, I found an envelope in my mailbox. No name, no return address. Inside, a napkin with a scrawled note. Hope you're happy. You've ruined Mom. She cries every night. You wanted to be alone. Congrats. No signature, but I knew the handwriting. I'd seen it on forged report cards in high school. Eric. It wasn't guilt, it was emotional blackmail. His last move, but I didn't flinch. I opened my laptop. One by one, I transferred all the accounts, electric, water, internet, back to their rightful names. Not cut off, not cancelled, just no longer mine. Then I drafted an email to Mom. This isn't punishment, it's correction. For years, I gave where help was never acknowledged, only expected. You taught me giving without keeping score, but Eric kept score anyway. I'm done playing. If you ever want to talk, really talk, I'll be here. I slept better that night than I had in years. Until the next morning, a new notification, final warning, property tax overdue. Not my house, theirs, the one I'd secretly been covering for years, because once, Mom had whispered, if the house goes, I go with it. But now she was telling my aunt I was heartless, that I'd walked away over a birthday. So I did the simplest thing, paused the draft. No drama, no announcement, just done. And the silence began. Not peace at first, silence like static. I had spent so long being their life support system that when I pulled the plug, I could hear them choke. The first cracks came fast. Mom, you made your point. Restore the payments. The bills are overdue. Eric, don't let Mom suffer just because you're throwing a tantrum. I laughed. His whole life he'd weaponized her pain against me, but not anymore. Then, unexpectedly, a letter from Dad, handwritten. I thought silence kept peace, but silence is complicity. You did nothing wrong asking for recognition. I hope one day we earn the right to be in your life again. For the first time, someone saw me, not the provider, not the fixer, just me. Then came the final straw. My landlord called. Your brother came by, asked about your lease, said you probably don't need a 2-bedroom alone, tried to negotiate a sublet. Eric wasn't just after money, he was after my space, my life. That night, I changed the lock, not out of fear, but clarity. Boundaries aren't walls, they're doors with locks, and I choose who gets a key. A week later, the family group chat exploded. Maybe we overreacted. Family isn't perfect. We'll bring a cake, just want to talk. Please forgive us. I read them all, then hit leave group. On my birthday, I sat by the window with a slice of cheesecake I'd bought myself, lit a single candle, no expectations, just peace. And then came a knock. Dad, no flowers, no theatrics, just a card. You've always deserved more, he wrote. Inside was a photo of me at 7 years old, at a birthday party no one else came to, just me and him, blowing out candles together. For the first time, I felt seen. Weeks later, fog rolling off the water, coffee in hand, I walked toward the pier, and there he was. Eric. No smirk, no bravado, just a hoodie, worn jeans, eyes that finally looked honest. "Hey," he said, "can we talk?" He admitted everything fell apart: the marriage, the brand deals, the followers, the image. "I was wrong," he whispered, "about everything. If you ever need help at your firm, I'll do anything. I just want to start over." I didn't say yes, I didn't say no. And now I'm asking you, would you give him that second chance? Would you let him in or let it go? Because I'm still sitting on that bench, and I haven't answered.